Good morning, YouTube, and how are all my friends all across this wonderful world? I say to you, hello, 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 hello. Good morning to all. It's such a marvelous, wonderful day. And I send out to you the power and the gifts of healing and dominion and power. I send them to you this morning as you're waking up. Receive the power to have a marvelous, happy day today. Everything is going to go great for you today. You're going to have a marvelous day because I send out the power. The power that is within us. All we have to do is reach down and pull out that power and lift it up. The scripture says, let there be lifting up. And in another place it says, if I be lifted up, it's always lifting up. It's always lift up your eyes to the hills. It's always the serpent was lifted up on the pole. Everything is always, we're always in the process of lifting up consciousness. You know, you're looking down. They were looking down. And the serpent was up on the pole, and they were having all sorts of illness. But then they lifted up their eyes, and they were healed. And it's always a case of lifting up your eyes. It's always a case of knowing where the power is and drawing it out. And knowing that all power in heaven and in earth has been given unto us. Oh, yes! And we have the power to reach out and heal. We have that power this morning. So if you have cancer, diabetes, heart disease, whatever type of thing you have, you lift up your eyes this morning and know that you're healed. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Lifting up your eyes, lift up your eyes, lift up your eyes to see that you're healed, you're healed, you're healed. Lift up your eyes right now to see the healing power. Lift up your eyes to see that you are healed. We're free, we're free, we're free. We're free, we're free, we're free. Oh yes, we're free, we're free. We're free, we're free, we're free. Lift up your eyes to see that we're free, we're free, we're free. Lift up your eyes to see that we're free, we're free, we're free. Oh, rejoice, 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 rejoice. That is now and forever your choice. The choice, the choice, the choice to rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. And so we realize then that it is a choice. That's what I'm teaching this morning, is that it is a choice to reach in and get that power and begin to let it flow. It is our choice as to whether we want to take advantage of the power, and so we want to utilize the power. And how do we utilize that power? We utilize that power by lifting it up. You know, by rejoicing about it, by saying, I'm rejoicing because I have the power. I've accepted the fact that I have the healing power, and I'm rejoicing about it. I don't just say, well, say it said I have healing power, and so I'm glad about that. But we rejoice about it, and we share it, and we flow it, and immediately upon receiving the healing power or receiving a healing of your sickness or your illness, you should immediately look for someone else that is ill or sick so that you can heal. And even if you are not completely healed, you should look for someone else that is ill and go ahead and try to let the power flow to heal them. And if they're healed first, so what? So be it. If they're healed first, so be it. That will help to cause you to get into the channel even more so to be healed yourself when you see other people being raised up. And then when you let the power flow to the sufficient extent, you let the love and the power and the healing and all begin to flow out of you to that such an extent that other people begin to be raised up, then that's going to help you to be raised up out of your illness. And so there's no way to lose with this. The more we lift it up, the more we're going to see it, the reality of it, and the more we're going to be healed of everything, and the more we're going to be lifted out of lack of every kind. And I was talking to you yesterday about how much good is ready to flow. And I was saying that all good is ready to flow. You know, our infinite mind, God, our infinite source, is total, omnipotent good. And there's not any of that good. I mean, a God, infinite mind, our source, is a God, a mind of flowing. He's a flowing river. And everything good that he has is intended to flow, and it's action. It's been said before that God is a God of action. Infinite mind is a God of creativity. Our divine mind is a God of everything that comes under divinity. God, our source, is the source of everything. That's why we refer to our infinite mind as our source, or the source, because the source of all blessings, the source of all good, just like the source of the river coming down out of a mountain, the source of it, the source of all healing power. He's the source of all healing power, and that source is within us, and it can flow out of us, and all we have to do is open ourselves up to it. How do we get creativity and energy flowing? By lifting it up, and by rejoicing, and by making up our mind that we want it, and that we want to let it flow, and that we desire to let it flow, and that we're going to be thankful when it starts flowing, and that we're grateful when it flows, and we rejoice about it, and we celebrate it. We celebrate healing. We don't try to just push the healing off to the side somewhere as a sideline or something, but we celebrate healing as one of the main things that we're supposed to be doing on this earth. We're here to heal. That's one of our main missions of every human being, is here to heal people and raise people up and lift people out of lack and all of these things. That's what all of us are here to do. That's what we were created to do. We were created to flow the healing power. And so when we don't flow that healing power, then we're not doing what we're created to do. And so how can we expect our body to be radiant and full of strength and energy and healing and not get ill and so forth if we're not flowing what we're supposed to be flowing? And we're not doing what we were created to do. And so that's how we get that energy flowing. And I said, everything resolves itself to the flow of enough energy and creativity. And there's enough energy there, there's enough creativity there, there's enough healing power there. And so everything's going to resolve itself just simply to not whether we're determining how much, not whether there is power there, or not whether the healing is there, but just whether or not we resolve ourselves to let it flow. And so why is this so, and how can we know? And we know in the process. We know in the process of letting it flow, then we know, and we start knowing how powerful it is. As we see it begin to flow more and more and more and get more and more powerful. And that happens the more we rejoice about it and the more we lift it up. Let there be lifting up. If I be lifted up, all of it is lifting it up and beginning to watch what it does. Begin to watch what it does and let it begin to work. And then we can know. The more that it flows, the more we will know. How do we prepare consciousness? We prepare our consciousness to rise by beginning by beginning to rejoice now about. I say to myself, what type of consciousness do I really want? How much creativity do I want? How much abundance do I want? And so whatever that is, I'm going to rejoice as if I know it's already flowing. And then we begin to watch that begin to flow and begin to let it flow more and more. And then we begin to rejoice more and more. And that's how we prepare our consciousness. Is we don't wait till everything's there. You don't wait till everything's there. You don't wait until you're totally and completely 100% healed to start rejoicing about it. You rejoice now about the fact that you know you're going to be healed, and then the better you feel, the more you begin to rejoice, more and more and more as you see the healing begin to happen. But what is consciousness? And consciousness, of course, is that which which says, I am here, and I am going to rise out of this body, and I'm going to begin to let myself blow out into the world, and I'm going to begin to do marvelous things, and I'm going to begin to create acts of abundance, and I'm going to lift people out of lack, and I'm going to heal people and all. That is our consciousness, and that is exercising our true consciousness. We have our true consciousness that we've been given is a consciousness that only grows as we begin to heal people and lift people up and raise other people up and do good things. And so that's how we know what our consciousness is, and that is how we get our consciousness to grow. How effective is rejoicing, and why should it be done ahead of time? Why should it be done ahead of the full demonstration and manifestation and results? Not just afterwards. Why should we not just wait till we see all the results and then begin to rejoice? That would seem like maybe in a certain way of thinking what we should do. But one reason for that is that simply that we are promised, we're given promises of what will happen. We're given promises, we're promised that great demonstrations is going to follow if we will carefully follow these directions that we're given by people that have already experienced these things, people that have already seen healings happen, people that have already seen miracles happen, people that have already seen great demonstrations happen, and people have already seen people being raised out of lack and achieving all abundance in their life. They have given us directions. And you can find those in lots of different places. There's not just a few places, but a lot of different places you can find the directions for how to do these things. And if we carefully follow those directions, then we're told that we will see these demonstrations and manifestations. And one of the main directions is to rejoice now. That's said over and over in so many different ways. In so many different books, everything from Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, Enthusiasm Makes a Difference, Miracles, The Power of Miracles, all these different books say that over and over again. And so why is this the greatest secret in the world? And it's because of what it will do. It's because we have the power within us to do miracles. We have the power within us to heal people. We have the power in us to raise people out of lack. We have the power in us to have great abundance. And yet, unless we know the secret that it is within us, that it is totally within us, and it is only going to be, it is only to the extent that we let it flow that it's going to work. And if we don't let it flow, it's not going to work. And if we do let it flow, it will work. And we realize that secret, then that's when we're able to do all these things. And so that's why it's the greatest secret in the world, is because so few people actually know the real power of it, because they've not exercised the flow to the full extent. And now we know part of it. There's lots of people knows part of it, and they have seen miracles happen. They've seen healings happen, many healings and all, and many miracles taking place. All kinds of things have happened. People raising out of poverty and everything, but they have not exercised the total power which we've been given. There's just so much power there, and that's the greatest secret in the world of all the actually all the power that is actually there. And it's a total power, all power in heaven and earth. Why is our ability to develop proper rejoicing proof that we can actually experience the object of our rejoicing? And that's because it demonstrates that our consciousness, that we have been given the ability to think, we've been given the ability to exercise consciousness, we've been given the ability to say I am, we've been given the ability to understand these things, and we've been given the ability to desire these things, and whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And if whatever that we're able to think up and want and desire, with that, our infinite mind is also giving us a way to achieve it. And so that's the proof that we can do that. And rejoicing properly, it will help us to see that that's the truth. How do we know that all good has been completely delivered to us? And that's because God is all good. Our infinite mind is all good, omnipotent and omnipresent, and everything good is contained within that. And so I will get back on this tomorrow.